My bitch Tuesday. I like it.
Favorite time of the month, hair day. So I'm going back to my girl Kitty to get my Ethiopian sew-in.
This is how I went from this to this. Come with me to my first Ethiopian sew-in. It is crispy.
Ah, shit. Get your tea and your popcorn because we have hit yet another psychological jackpot. Hey, Exoticals, this episode is going to be about the brown skin, curly hair obsession. There has always been an obsession with Ethiopian women, Eritrean women, Somali women, anybody who has a deep skin tone combined with a looser hair texture. You have been the obsession of the unambiguous community for decades. And I find it interesting how people want to talk about colorism, but nobody wants to talk about how texturism is way bigger than colorism, because texturism is still currently going on right now. Generally speaking, people will call you out for being a colorist, but texturist, no. And if you don't believe me, all you have to do is watch how women in the unambiguous community react to bundles. Anytime they get a bundle, they're talking about type 3 hair. It's type 1, type 2, or type 3 hair. So whenever you hear them pedestalizing their bundles, worshiping having bundles, or bragging about how moisturized their bundles are, this comes from that obsession with that brown skin, curly hair combo. Most unambiguous women on average, their beauty standard is dark skin exoticals. That's their beauty standard. And that's also why if you are a darker skinned exotical, you will deal with a lot of jealousy from women who are unambiguous.
This is how I went from this to this. Come with me to my first Ethiopian sew-in. It is crispy.
Notice how she refers to her own hair texture as crispy. So she's calling her type 4 hair crisp. Do you think that a light-skinned woman could refer to her hair as crispy? Do you think that a white person could call her hair crispy? So there's this constant hypocrisy in the Black community where it's okay for them to call their own hair nappy or crispy or dry or whatever, but you're not allowed to call them that. You're not allowed to say that about their hair, especially if you have type 3 hair. So now we've got a woman playing music and showing off her 3B loose textured curly hair that is associated with Ethiopian women. We all know that in the African American community, Ethiopian women and Somali and Eritrean women, they're very heavily exoticized for their dark skin and loose hair texture combination. Most women in the unambiguous community do suffer from hair envy, and a lot of them have a desire to look like they are genetically the same as Ethiopian women. And that's why a lot of them are obsessed with kind of this lace front culture. The whole purpose of wearing a lace front is to try to mimic actual scalp. So they pedestalize the actual scalps and hairlines and baby hairs of Ethiopian women. And that's why they're creating this entire economy where they're making these Ethiopian hair salon owners rich. This girl says, point of view, you went to Toronto to get the viral Ethiopian sew-in done. So people are out here catching flights. They're taking entire road trips. So instead of taking road trips and going on actual vacations, no, they want to catch flights and take road trips so they can look like Ethiopians. Just let that sink in. And especially with the cost of gas right now and the cost of jet fuel, flights are actually becoming more expensive. Gas is more expensive than ever. And women are sacrificing their savings accounts because they want that same beauty pedestal that dark-skinned Ethiopian women have. This girl says, thank you, Ethiopia, for healing my relationship with my 4C hair. Ethiopian women have a very positive collective image when it comes to their relationship with their hair. They're known for having very long, beautiful, healthy hair. So you would think that the 4C community, you would think that like Nigerians or, women who are unambiguous, you'd think that they would have the healthiest relationship with 4C hair since they're the ones that have it the most. But no, a lot of these women are looking up to Ethiopian women. They're looking to other cultures. They're looking to other phenotypes to get their own self-esteem because they can't get it in their own communities. They're not getting it in the African American community. They're not getting it in the Nigerian community or the 4C community. So they have to go and ask the Ethiopian girls about what their relationship is with their hair. So do you see what I mean about how a lot of times women with inferiority complexes, they're always asking women of other phenotypes for help. They always need your help. So now if you're Ethiopian, you are responsible for making unambiguous women look like you. You're responsible to start hair salons, and now you have to give them sew-ins. Now you have to heal their inner child. They're coming to you. They're looking to you, Ethiopian women, to be their hair care therapist. And there's nothing wrong with looking up to other groups of women. I just don't like the internalized jealousy, though, that some women have towards these Ethiopian girls in real life. So in your own spare time, you're literally flying to Toronto, you're getting Ethiopian sew-ins, but then when you come across these girls in real life, you're accusing their hair of not being natural. You're accusing them of wearing texturizers and weaves. You're throwing them in and out of blackness. You're not including them. You're not having a sisterhood with them. But then behind closed doors, you want to go and get a sew-in that looks like theirs. So it's not about the sew-in. I don't have a problem with the sew-in. It's just you need to put some respect on these women's name then. Put some respect on these Ethiopian women's names if you're going to go around trying to look like them.
Favorite time of the month, hair day. So I'm going back to my girl Kitty to get my Ethiopian sew-in and Ethiopian butter conditioner to help with my scalp dryness.
It's in the technique and culture. It focuses on natural products and tensionless braiding. It's so gentle, I didn't realize Kitty was doing my braid down until she was 3 braids in.
So she just accidentally admitted one of the reasons that they pedestalize Ethiopians. They said it's literally because of their culture. It's because of the natural stuff that they use, like the kibbeh, the ghee, butter that they put in their hair. And then she admitted, oh, she actually braided my hair without tension. And it's like, okay, so you're actually admitting that other black people, unambiguous people, they braid your hair with tension to the point where it's literally falling out of your head. This proves that Ethiopian women do have a positive collective image when it comes to hair because they're literally known for using natural products, so they're not over-consuming like how they do in Blackistan. By the way, when I say Blackistan, I'm referring to the negative aspects of black culture. I'm not talking about black excellence culture. Like, there are some black communities that have a culture of being bald-headed. They don't prioritize growing your natural hair. They prioritize covering your natural hair. So in the video, this woman is admitting, oh, these Ethiopian women, they actually care for your natural hair. And it's like, that shouldn't be a shocker to you. Not caring for your natural hair, that's a form of self-neglect. So that tells me that whatever culture this girl comes from, well, actually, she said that she's from Louisiana, like basically African American. So she's admitting that in her cultural background, there was this habit of self-neglect. Or like with a hair salon she was going to, they would braid her hair so tight to the point where it's hurting her head. You need to admit that these women are a part of your own internalized beauty standard. By the way, if you're an Ethiopian Exotical watching this, start a hair channel, start a beauty channel, because clearly you're going to be pedestalized for it. You're probably going to have an easier time making money. So if you want a side income, just start a hair channel. And I promise you, you're going to get views. You're going to get brands wanting to work with you because there's a whole entire sector of women who are catching flights and paying these high-ass gas prices so they can drive hundreds of miles just to look like you.
No other group of people care as much as black people do with how their women do their hair. Why?
No other group of people is en masse 90% of the time not wearing their natural hair texture. It's really disingenuous to compare someone who has straight hair or a looser hair texture wearing a few tracks to add more volume to their hair or changing their hair color, to black women going through carcinogenic chemical treatments to get straight hair, to black women risking traction alopecia, to black women being unable to go outside with their naturally curly afros.
Okay, pause. So you got this woman basically attacking Anna Wren, who is a dark-skinned Exotical content creator. She talks about like her hair and stuff like that. So in her original video, Anna Wren was not coming for black women at all. She was actually trying to like empower black women in the video. But you got this unambiguous girl who is automatically offended because, you know, of course, Anna Wren is the wrong messenger. You cannot speak up on behalf of black women or speak about black women if you benefit from an ism. So because Anna Wren's phenotype and her Ethiopian heritage, you know, that's too triggering. So she's got this woman upset. And then the woman says, oh, well, some women, they can't even go outside with their natural afro. That's false. You're literally wearing an afro in the video. What are you talking about? This is not Jim Crow. Do you see their obsession with bringing up slavery, bringing up Jim Crow, you know, bringing up back when it was illegal to wear your natural hair in public? There's this culture of defining yourself based on past traumas. And so this woman is basically saying, oh, because of traumas from hundreds of years ago that I never experienced in my personal life, you, Anna Wren, can't relate to me and you can't speak on it. And it's like, ma'am, you're just as far removed from that trauma. You're wearing a curly afro. What are you talking about? Women have the right to wear their hair however they want. So also, if Anna Wren can't speak on type 4 hair, then why are you speaking on type 3 hair? If you're trying to make this talking point that you're only allowed to speak on your exact hair texture and phenotype, okay, then stop trying to speak on other women's phenotypes.
There's someone who has straight hair or a looser hair texture wearing a few tracks to add more volume to their hair or changing their hair color.
Also, what is this obsession that unambiguous women have with calling Exoticals disingenuous or dishonest? Has anybody noticed that? That is one of their number one insults against Exoticals is, oh, you're being disingenuous. Oh, well, you're dishonest. It's basically like a slur in the Black community to call somebody fake. You know, that's basically what she's trying to say. You're being dishonest. You're a liar, Anna Wren. You're a fraud, basically. They love calling us liars. They love calling us frauds. They love calling us dishonest and just disingenuous.
It's really disingenuous to compare someone who has straight hair or a looser hair texture wearing a few tracks to add more volume to their hair or changing their hair color to Black women going through carcinogenic chemical treatments to get straight hair.
So now she's basically saying, oh, Black women have it way worse because they're putting all these chemicals in their hair. Okay, first of all, non-Black women put chemicals in their hair as well. We eat processed food. Everybody is ingesting poison somehow. When you walk outside, you're breathing in pollution. So she's trying to make Black women the ultimate victims, basically saying unambiguous Black women have it the absolute worst. Unambiguous women are at the absolute bottom because it takes longer for Black women to do their hair. Ma'am, it doesn't have to take that long for you to do your hair, though. So nobody's forcing you to put these lace fronts on. Nobody's forcing you to get relaxers. So it's like, whose fault is it? Who wakes up in the morning to style your hair? It's yourself. So instead of arguing with Anna Wren on the internet, maybe you should either change yourself or, wear your own hair in a wash and go afro like you're already doing. Or you should probably focus on your fellow unambiguous dark-skinned Black women with the same hair texture. Because that's not Ethiopian women's problem. That's not Anna Wren's problem that Black women are putting chemicals on their hair. She's basically saying, you don't understand my pain. You don't understand how hard it is to be dark-skinned with 4C hair. You don't understand how bad it is to be Black. And so we have to wear these lace fronts in order to cope. We have to put on these chemicals in order to cope with our position in society. Okay, so you're admitting that you think that your phenotype inherently puts you at the bottom. So which one is it? Are you a Nubian queen? Are you the blueprint? Or are you down here at the bottom and trying to explain to Anna Wren what your victimhood is? Which one is it? Are you a queen or a peasant? Are you a peasant in the hair community? Or are you the blueprint of the hair community? Also, I found this on Threads. This girl says, left my wig in leave-in conditioner for 8 hours on accident. Yeah, bundle's about to be falling off the bone. Tenderism. Talk nice to me. So she's leaving her wigs in leave-in conditioner for 8 hours. Yet you also have unambiguous women complaining, saying, oh, we have to wear the wigs because our natural hair takes too long. But you're taking 8 hours just to do the wigs. So that's an excuse. Just like I said, it's a cultural norm to cover the hair, not to care for the hair. So until that problem can be fixed in Black communities, they're going to continue to put type 3 hair on a pedestal. And then she says, bundles fallen off the bone. But I thought boneless hair was ugly. They make fun of type 3 women all the time. First, they called us ramen noodle head ass bitches. Now they're saying our hair looks boneless, our braids look boneless. But if I were to say your edges look boneless, if I were to say your hairline looks boneless, then I'd be called a texturist. So they're saying that we have boneless hair, but here you have a woman bragging about her quote unquote boneless hair. She said, bundles about to be falling off the bone, tenderism. And then she ends it by saying, talk to me nice. She doesn't realize it, but she's subconsciously saying, talk to me nice because I got quote unquote good hair. So I deserve to be treated better. You need to talk to me nicely because I got that boneless type 3. I got those boneless bundles in. I've got that silky hair. So you need to talk to me nice. And it's like, okay, why don't we hear them talking about 4C the same way? Do you expect people to talk to you nicely when you have 4C hair? No, of course not. So They say they want to dismantle texturism, but women in the unambiguous community are the main ones reinforcing it. What do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.